Van Dyke, we're learning more about what led up to a shooting in downtown Fargo over the weekend. 21-year-old Angel Millette is charged in Cass County District Court now with 2 felony counts of aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, and the discharge of a firearm within a city. Police say it happened just after 1 a.m. on Sunday near the VFW downtown. Millette turned himself in, they say, and police found a handgun in his apartment. According to court documents, he told detectives he started shooting to scare off 2 men who attacked him. They say he fired 16 rounds in the direction of the group. 2 people were shot, 29-year-old Antonio Lopez and a 16-year-old boy, who were both taken to the hospital for their injuries. A total of 14 shells were retrieved at the scene. If convicted, Millette faces up to 5 years in prison. Breaking news this afternoon out of South Carolina. We're just learning about a mass shooting in downtown Charleston. The mayor says 10 people were hurt in the shooting last night after police say they responded to a noise complaint at a loud party at a vacant lot. An officer immediately took gunfire. The mayor says one 17-year-old was involved in the shooting. The other victims were adults. Investigators are still collecting evidence, but they believe at least 2 groups were shooting at each other. More than 100 rounds were exchanged.
What happened last night, where there was hundreds of people in the street, if that's what happened, 100 or 200, whatever it was, and 10 people got shot, 1 of our cops almost got killed, 2 of our deputies were put in the hospital, that's a problem. We're going to address that problem.
So far, 2 women have been arrested for the assaults, and the sheriff's office says more arrests may be coming. New for you at 4, a child is expected to make a full recovery after falling from a 4th-story window yesterday in North Fargo. First responders were called to U32 Apartments just after 2 when a child had fallen from a window after pushing out the screen. Officials say the child landed on a 2nd-floor patio area and was taken by ambulance to a hospital. We have new information on the man who was found dead outside of an apartment building in Grand Forks. Police have identified him as 27-year-old Daniel Sanger of Grand Forks. On Sunday, police were called for a report of an unresponsive male outside the building in the 1100 block of 25th Avenue South. Police say there were no obvious signs of trauma, but the cause of death has yet to be determined. They're still investigating. Well, it's been much cooler today with that gusty wind, but that's still better than the heavy rain and wind we were dealing with yesterday. Let's go to Summer now for a first look at your forecast. Summer.
Thank you so much, Stacy, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have a big change from yesterday. We did have some passing rain showers this morning on the back half of our low pressure system that brought the storms, but now those showers are continuing to exit and we're just seeing a few sprinkles here and there. Parts of Otter Tail County are still seeing some lighter rain showers, but those will be on their way out as well. Lots of rain over the weekend. The areas that you see highlighted in yellow, that's where radar is estimating 1 to 2 inches of accumulation. The areas in orange, between 2 and 3 inches of accumulation, even higher where you start to see the reds and the pinks. Here's a few rainfall reports that came in. Carrington, the winner, 4.5 inches of rain reported. I had several reports from the Carrington area between around 4 and 4.5 inches within maybe a mile or 2 radius. 3.81 inches in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Detroit Lakes picking up 2.8 inches. Hatton, North Dakota, 2.66. Fergus Falls, 2.31 inches. Now we're just seeing the wind, Stacy, on the back side of this system, still gusting near 40 miles per hour. I'll take you through when the wind will diminish tonight and what we can expect for the rest of our week coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Summer. Last night's severe weather caused major problems in South Dakota and Minnesota. A possible tornado struck down as close as Ashby, damaging and destroying dozens of homes. Here's CBS's Bradley Blackburn with the latest on the recovery.
From the air, you can see the trail of destruction, the path of a suspected tornado in Ferreta, Minnesota. It snapped trees, ripped off roofs, and county officials say at one point cut off all roads leading to town.
There's so many trees and homes. I would say there's at least 75 to 100 structures that are totaled or severely damaged.
Fire Chief Stephen Van Luke said the storm damaged the firehouse. Crews went home to home, but thankfully found no fatalities or serious injuries. Still, many people are displaced.
The Red Cross has been here. They've been helping people find a spot to stay temporarily. So, yeah, everybody's coming together.
The severe weather system barreled through Minnesota on Memorial Day. It dumped heavy rain and left tens of thousands of people without power.
There were about 3 booms, and then you could see the sparks on the power lines.
At one point, more than 1 million Minnesotans were under a tornado watch, a rare event in this region. In Ashby, dark clouds sent families scrambling for cover.
Came right through our garage, hit it. Luckily, it didn't hit any of our house.
Severe storms also struck Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where uprooted trees crashed through homes, crushed cars, and frightened residents in the middle of the night.
Our bedroom window is right there. It would have gone across our bed.
Those severe storms are now making their way east, predicted to stretch from as far north as Michigan all the way down into Texas. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
That child you just heard from there was Gus Proudfoot. He was a VNL weather kid just 2 months ago, back in March. Well, some 50,000 people in Minnesota were still without power this morning, according to the tracking website poweroutage.us. Brand new information now on a fire in Wadena. Fire crews were called back this morning to put out hot spots after the warehouse fire resulted in evacuations yesterday. The building, occupied by Minnesota Valley Irrigation, was fully engulfed. It required the assistance of at least 8 additional fire departments to put out that blaze. Because chemicals were inside the building, a shelter in place was ordered for the whole city of Wadena. That has since been canceled. Firefighters returned to the scene this morning to extinguish remaining hot spots. A sand dike has been constructed to contain the chemicals in the building. That situation continues to be monitored by the fire department and local emergency management. Massive flames burned down a barn with tens of thousands of chickens in Wright County, Minnesota over the weekend. Forsman Farms, located in Howard Lake, sells more than 3 million eggs a day, making them a major player in the national market. On Saturday night, an accidental fire destroyed one of their poultry barns and killed tens of thousands of chickens. First responders got on the scene quickly and no human lives were lost. Funerals began in Texas today for the 19 children and 2 teachers killed in Uvalde. 2 10-year-olds will be laid to rest today. Lilia Luciano has the story of one of the teachers killed whose sister spoke to CBS News.
I wake up every morning and the first thing I do is cry because I know that it's real.
For the family of Eva Mireles, the nightmare continues. Her sister Maggie now facing the most...
We'll try to bring you that story a little later. A bipartisan discussion, meanwhile, on gun control happening right now in D.C. Senators are meeting virtually to create a framework on gun reform proposals. They'll be discussing loopholes in background checks and a red flag law that would allow judges to take guns away from people deemed to be a risk. The House is working on its own legislation right now and could vote on the red flag bill as soon as next week. President Biden is optimistic some Republicans are now willing to act. A fundraiser has been set to help the victims who were shot at a popular Fargo Mexican restaurant. Nearly 2 weeks ago, 21-year-old Lucia Garcia and her 7-month-old son Dominique were gunned down at Plaza Azteca by a man she had a relationship with, 24-year-old Malik Gill. He led authorities on a high-speed chase in Clay County, where officials say he crashed and later shot himself. Baby Dominique is expected to make a full recovery, but Lucia is still dealing with significant brain damage due to a lack of oxygen. That fundraiser is going to take place at St. Henry's Catholic Church in Perham Sunday, June 12th from 11 a.m. until 1. There will be Mexican food, a bake sale, and other opportunities to donate. Later here at 4 in